Well, it's finally here. This is the Kukirin G2 Ultra that I've been dying to try out. Is it direct competition for the Ausom L2 Dual that I still have? We'll have to find out. But first, let's take it out of the box. We'll talk about the specs, first ride video, and then a full review video will be coming soon. Any questions, please just post them below. So let's get this out and have a look. Okay, different stem compared to the G2. Woohoo. Packaged okay. The tires are not 3 inches, they are 2.75 inches in width and 10 inches, so I'll need to have a close look at that. Okay, let's take it out. Oh, of course, definitely more heavy because it is dual motor design. Okay, so again, we have a 2 amp hour output charger. We have the mudguard that you need to attach. You get your manual and a few tools. Okay, this is a first because this is a complete new design of screen. Look at the size of that screen. Huge touch screen. It actually looks nice, very different. But how you actually secure this to the top is quite simple. You actually just pop it down. And then I took off this cap already. But of course the main thing is that when you are installing handlebars like this that don't have a center locking point, you need to of course make sure it's completely dead on straight. So let's go ahead and do that. So you have 2 screws, you have one here and you have one here. So of course take your time doing this, and you really need to make sure these are tight. I'm actually quite excited to actually try this model. I thought the stem would have been quite similar to the G2 that I reviewed. Basically, I reviewed most of Kukirin scooters at this point. So if you want to see any of even the more expensive models, feel free to have a look at the playlist that's already on the channel. So you can actually see these are 2.75 inches in width. 3 inches make a huge difference, believe it or not. So they are actually quite narrow. So I'm curious, even though they have the side tread, how they're actually going to handle with the dual motor design. So we will definitely have to try that out and see what it's like. Of course, we need to just pop the mudguard on. Very easy, 2 screws that already have Loctite on them, which means of course it won't come loose while riding, thankfully. So let me just give that a good take a look at this huge screen, which I actually was excited about, to be honest. It's absolutely gigantic. Of course, you get 2 keys with this model. Let me just see if it turns on, or if I need to actually give it a charge. It's kind of weird, the way you kind of turn this key. Kind of feels really flimsy. I don't know. Anyway. Here's our screen. Kind of hard to see in daylight, so I'll have to see if we can adjust, of course, the brightness of this, but that is absolutely huge. And of course we have our real funny bell. You have these new style of buttons. Yeah, very funny. You have, of course, indicators on this model. Of course I will be testing everything out. You of course have our thumb throttle here, or twist throttle, wherever you want. Standard mechanical brakes. Take a look at this nice stem. Actually quite a nice design. Sleek looking. How sturdy it is, we'll give it a try. Time will tell. It seems to have exact same suspension. This model, like the G2, unfortunately doesn't have a front mudguard, which is always actually quite annoying, because it means this part here gets destroyed when it's raining. So a bit of a letdown, to be honest, there. Of course, you have your, they look like 180mm disc rotors, if I'm not mistaken. Gigantic, to be honest. A bit worried about them hitting the ground and getting damaged. So again, we will need to see what that's all about. Of course, you have your tubeless tires here. But let's talk about the spec. Okay, so on this new Ultra model, we have a 48 volt, 18 amp hour battery. Not the biggest battery in the world for a dual motor scooter, but I mean, range, I guess if you're expecting a lot of range from a scooter like this, don't hold your breath. It is a 50 km/h max speed. So again, we'll be testing that, and then of course testing out the torque. 55 kilometer range, max range that is. So again, take that with a pinch of salt. We have a 800 watt motor in the front and in the rear, tubeless tires, suspension. You have that new touchscreen that of course I will be testing. It also says it has a explosion proof battery case. What does that mean? Or is that just a marketing thing? I'm not too sure. So again, we'll have fun with this. If you want to see actually me compare this to the Ausom L2 Dual that I absolutely fell in love with, definitely, you know, let me know and I will arrange that if I can on the channel. I'll probably get a friend to help me out with that one. But in the meantime, any questions, leave them below and I'll talk to you in the next video.